Hello and welcome back to House Flipper 2 and the Great Sandbox tutorial. I'm Midas Designs, and today we're going to take a look at building a custom couch. Now, obviously there are couches and sofas in the game. You can use these to your heart's delight. They look pretty good. They have nice shape. You can play around with their styles. You know, you can do all the normal things that you would do in this game. This tutorial is really about taking a look at some other concepts for couches that we just don't have in the game. And one of those is to make our own couch, possibly in the style of mid-century modern. So these are some very unique couches. They usually incorporate coffee tables right into the unit, and allows us to shape our own couch to the area in which we want to place it. So for this example, let's say we have a TV, something here in the corner, and what we want to do is we want to have kind of like our couch wrap around like this. So you access it from the sides. We can put little coffee tables here at the corners and have it all integrated as a custom piece of furniture that we can then, you know, use within the game. So with that, what we want to do are, I mean, there's quite a lot of things that we're going to have to do for this. Very simple though is to go ahead and start marking out our patterns, where we're going to build at, how deep and wide are we going to handle this. I am going to I think that's a good width for a couch. You can always check it against the current couches in the game. So as you can see, I'm a little bit bigger than this one, but I actually like that idea. So we're just going to, you know, kind of eyeball this a little bit. I think this is going to be a couch sectional. And then maybe what we'll do is we will continue that over. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. We'll do 3, 4, 5. And maybe we'll just go a little bit more like that. Yeah. Again, we're just eyeballing this, just getting an idea for how we want to do this. Maybe I want to do a little bit less on this side so that way I can put in like a little end table down there at the end. Okay, so mid-century moderns, quite a lot of different styles with these, but a lot of times they really just have kind of like a swept back kind of backing. Yeah, we'll try to make it look nice and interesting here. Let's see here. So I don't want to, I guess we should probably put the bottom of this down. So we're going to have kind of a couple pieces here. We'll copy that and we'll put that down. We're going to have this piece here. There we go. And then we're going to have this piece here. There we go. Alright. Not too bad. Now what we want to do is to go ahead and raise these up. And I don't want to raise it up too much, so with my lock on, I want these to be kind of shorter. I think that's pretty good right there. Just raise up our pieces. Alright. So now what we want to do is start bringing in our legs. So I am going to do this a little bit differently here in a minute. I think that's a good style. We'll go 1 and 2 like this. And I am going to raise this up 2 taller than our bench. We're going to do the same thing over here. 1, 2. Raise it up. 1, 2. We'll put supports here. So 1, 2. Come over here from the side. 1, 2. There we go. And now we'll do the same thing here. 1, 2. And same thing down here. 1, 2. And we'll do one more down here at the end. 1, 2. And we'll need to repeat all this on this side. Now the reason why I'm going just a little bit bigger is because I'm going to give us some options to create some angled legs as opposed to using straight up and down legs. So having that extra little bit of length will allow us to kind of play around with it and get it the way we want it to look, which hopefully will look like it is handmade, just like you see a lot with these mid-century moderns. Alright, I think that looks really good. So let's go ahead and start to handle this. So we're just gonna eyeball this actually. So we're just gonna curve it, bring it in. I'm gonna keep it into the black here. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna take this side here, curve it in. Maybe too much. Lower it down. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Now we'll take this one here. Got a couple of options, but I am gonna definitely take this option. Just like that. There we go. That might be too much. There we are. Now we'll take this guy here. Bring him down. Beautiful. I really like how that's coming out. So now let's go ahead and do these legs. There we go. Nice, decent angle. Whoops. There we go. All right. Bring that down. Just like that. There we go. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we got these handled. So what about these? Well, we can play around with them a little bit. So maybe what we'll do is we'll kind of bring them in like this. Just slightly. Just to show something a little bit different. Yeah, just to mess with the eyes. And then we'll take this and we will rotate it around and bring that down. There we go. Nice and evened out. So that all looks really good. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and style this real fast. So I'm just going to use mahogany. And I actually like it to where, you know, I have a little bit of difference here with the pattern. Just so I know where the couches are going to go and where the end tables are going to go. And then we'll swing it back to this so we can put this down. I'm going to go into fly mode so I can see a little bit better what I'm doing. There we go. We'll turn it back up here so we can do these pieces. Almost done. There we go. There's always half the battle right here, trying to make sure you don't miss something on one of the angles. And I usually miss something. So we can see it a little bit better. No, I think that's good. Don't really care about the undercarriage. Oh, there's a piece. There we go. Alright, so I think that looks really, really good. So now what we want to do is to bring in kind of a backing, if you will. So we don't need it too high. I am gonna grab this so I have the idea of the sizing of this. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna resize it a little bit. Maybe just a little bit bigger. There we go. And now I'm gonna turn on grid snap. And the reason I'm turning on grid snap is because I'm gonna rotate it up like this and get an idea of where this sits at and how tall this is going to be right now. I don't want it to be that tall. I think that's good. Alright, now I'm going to turn grid snap off and I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. Let's check to make sure we're not clipping down underneath. We are. So let's raise that up. There we go. Now we can resize it and bring it down a little bit more. And there we have just a nice little sweep back here. We can take that same piece and repeat it over here. Looks like they are the same size. Turn on grid snapping, get this into position. Flip it up. Turn off grid snapping, slight rotation, bring it down a little bit. Check to make sure we're not clipping underneath. We are not. Beautiful. I think we're all nice and even. Alright, so now we need to introduce the cushions. So obviously we don't have a whole lot of options for cushions in this game. But we do have some, and they will help us out. So under standing decorations, we scroll all the way to the bottom. We probably don't want one of these pillows. What we probably want to do is use a mixture of the very thick and the not thick. I'm thinking this for the backing, and this for probably the bottom. Let's go take a look at how thick that is. That's pretty thick, that might be too much. So maybe what we're going to do is just use this. So if we were to run it to the very edge, we're looking at like right there. I'm going to do this all the way edge to edge, and then I'm going to have it remove 1, 2. Take the move tool here, and I'm just going to move it over 1. Bring it up and start to position that. Alright, we're looking good. And we'll take it just like that. Nice and even, nice and clean. We'll do the same thing on this side. And in case you're wondering, I'm using the duplicate button, which is Q. Alright, that fits in there quite nicely. All right, so now we can go in and start to do the back. So we're gonna bring it up, bring it over, flip it up just like this. We're gonna resize it a little bit. Turn on our flashlight, and we'll turn off grid snapping. There we go. There we go. We'll grab that same piece, flip it over here, grid snapping on, get it into position. There we go. Turn off grid snapping, and we're just gonna eyeball it a little bit if I can. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Now we have some nice, even, clean kind of couches here. We can play around with the styling. You know, throw down some poplin. Repeat. Oops. Change this one here. Maybe do like a pattern. If I can find a good one. No, do not want that. You know what? We could just do it without a pattern. Keep it nice and boring. There we go. And then for our pieces over here, you know, as we remember, we are using the Jungfrau, so we can't put anything on them per se, but we can go in and start to grab things like a table lamp, grab this big monstrosity, maybe change the styling of this, get something a little bit lighter. There we go. So again, we can't set it there, but we can set it partially where we want it. Go ahead and turn grid snapping back on. Get it into position. Oops. See there, I missed some edges. Alright. There we go. And now we can start to add in other knickknacks and books and little side tables. But just a real simple way, didn't take too long. It's just getting the measurements and eyeballing it a little bit. And maybe you'll want to change this so you have cushions that are a little bit more resized. You know, taking this like this instead. That way you can see kind of like a gap between them. However way you want to do this, very neat little trick. You create some very customized, purpose-built furniture for specific spaces, specific areas, and specific needs. So with that, hopefully you learned a few new things. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Thanks.